The Scientific and Standardization Committee of ISTH met on the front end of this year's meeting. Women's issues seem to focus on novel oral anticoagulants. Can you update us on the registry of women who use these drugs in pregnancy? And what are some of the findings so far?
Yeah, this is an extremely important issue because the new oral anticoagulants, or as we now tend to call them, direct oral anticoagulants, are actually not licensed for women during pregnancy and also not for women who are breastfeeding. These are very small molecules and they will certainly pass on to the fetus. And so these new registries are extremely important because actually, although they are not licensed, there are women who are incidentally taking these drugs. And this is, of course, a safety issue for the baby and also, of course, for the mother when these women are taking these drugs. And we need to get more data and more experience when women are taking these drugs during pregnancy with regards to the management of the pregnancies and also of the women. So this will give us important information. And since this is only rarely seen that women are taking these drugs and getting pregnant, the only way to get consistent data and to high quality data will be via registries. So this initiative is highly welcome, and I hope that there will be many people participating in this important registry.
One of the sessions featured a new focus on the diagnosis of VTE and PE. Can you share some of the highlights from that session?
Yes, the community felt the need to have a subcommittee which addresses more questions related to venous and thrombotic disease. So we reshaped one of our already existing subcommittees, the predictive variable subcommittee, and it is now a predictive and diagnostic variable subcommittee, and they had a session, as you just mentioned, and one of the main issues there was the relevance of so-called small clots. Meaning that you have patients, for example, with an isolated distal deep vein thrombosis, and there has always been debate on whether or not these patients should be treated, or also patients with a subsegmental pulmonary embolism, and discussions going on whether or not patients with these kind of diseases should be treated like patients with a massive pulmonary embolism. And the tendency is obviously going more towards less treatment. So there is this fear that these patients with the so-called small clots are being overtreated. And this is the discussion which has been done during this part of the subcommittee session.
Genomics in thrombosis and hemostasis debuted as a new subcommittee this year. Why was this subcommittee formed, and what is its goal?
Yeah, genomics is of course a very broad expression, and a very overlapping, has a very overlapping scope. And so this is the reason why we felt the need that there should be a subcommittee especially dedicated to genomics rather than having genomics integrated in already existing subcommittees. Particularly because there can be a combination of various activities and also a combination of hemostatic disorders together with bleeding disorders, and not only the genetic disorders isolated, but also together with the phenotype. So the genotype comes together with the phenotype, and we feel that the subcommittee, the Scientific and Standardization subcommittees, are a good platform for bringing all these activities together under one umbrella. I would like to mention maybe a little bit more in general that the subcommittees, the sessions of the Scientific and Standardization subcommittees are open to all participants of the meeting. And people are highly welcome to attend these sessions. And as we could see yesterday and also today, the sessions have been packed. There were so many people in the sessions and they are so well attended. And I would like to point out one feature in particular of these sessions, and these are the educationals which are run within each subcommittee session. So they are very, very unique in a way that they are focusing on a specific part of the various subcommittee speciality. And so I think this is a very nice feature, and again, they were highly, very well attended.